Hello, good afternoon. This is David Stoddard talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of April 5th through April 9th, 2021. Okay, and what I like to do right here is I like to look at all the major Forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, just so we can see what happened this past week, and then I will try to compare that to higher time frames, such as the 4-hour, weekly, and daily charts. Okay, and then I will try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week based on that comparison. Okay. So anyhow, I want to start by saying that this last Friday was the non-farm payroll for the US dollar only, okay? And we had a so-so jobs report. The unemployment rate did not change, but the number of jobs did increase, okay? There were some more jobs added into the market, so that's a good thing, a good positive for the US dollar, okay? So we're not going to see a huge gain, and we do see the US dollar starting to rebound, starting to go back up, and I will show you that here in a minute. Okay. Now, also this coming Friday is the non-farm payroll for the Canadian dollar, so look out for that as well. I do not think there will be very much activity, but it will cause definitely cause all the Canadian dollar pairs to spike or have some fluctuation, if you will. So right here we're looking at EURUSD on my chart. Okay, I got it on 30-minute time frame, and we see that more or less is in a flat range of market, okay, which was kind of what I predicted last week. Okay, and I kind of hoped this would go down more, but obviously you see the price ended right here. The price ended pretty much exactly where it began. So if you kept your charts on the 30-minute time frame and you were able to buy and sell just like I had recommended, okay, in this last video, then you would be in good shape right now. Okay, so what's going to happen this coming week, I don't know. Okay, I think there are probably some more range of markets. If we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, I want to look at this real quick. 4-hour chart shows to go up. Okay, this is pretty much what we saw last week. Okay, we know that it hit this strong level of support, and it's kind of sort of going up. Okay, we had a blue arrow here and then followed by another blue arrow. So typically when you have that happen, okay, the next arrow will be the red arrow. Okay, now if we look at the daily chart, we have a blue arrow as well, and the weekly chart shows to go down. So long term, this definitely will be dropping. In the short term, this will be going up. Now this is all dependent upon the US dollar, okay, what the US dollar is going to do. Now the US dollar is definitely fighting to go up. It's just a very, very slow incremental process. Okay, so US dollar is not that strong right now. It will strengthen more, especially if the US government puts more money back into the economy, which I don't know. The Congress in the US is trying to push a 4th stimulus package to get more money back into the economy. Joe Biden is pushing for another stimulus plan, okay, a $2 trillion plan that is in the works. We don't know exactly when that's going to get passed, probably the next month or two, so do keep an eye out for that as well. Okay, so we know long-term US dollar is going to be going up and the euro is going to be dropping. Okay, it's just going to be a long process. Okay, now if we look here at the 4-hour chart and daily chart, shows to go up. Okay, it's not going to go up that high, okay, but it will go up some. So I think in the next week or two, we should see this be going up slightly, like trickling up, more or less riding sideways with a slight increase. Okay, like we already saw this past week where the price ended exactly where it began. So this week we'll probably see the price increase a little bit more, at least for the EURUSD. Now, how high will it go? I think if we mark this right here, okay, this is a pretty strong level of resistance right here, and that looks like where it could go. Now if I bring this down slightly, we see the price right here hit a support. Okay, that also is a resistance, and you see right here it marked right here as a resistance. Okay, and here a resistance, so that's also, you know, a spot where it could go. There's a couple little spots where it could go, we don't know, but somewhere right in here is where I'm projecting the price to increase and form another red arrow using the 4-hour or even daily chart, both, okay, should form a red arrow right in here. So that's going to take another week or two for that price to go up. Okay, it's going to be a real slow process. I would probably give it at least 2 weeks for that price to go up, okay, and then rebound back down. So if you go back to the weekly chart, okay, look at the broader picture here. Okay, we see that, okay, the price goes up back up to here, then it will come back down. If you look at the past always repeats itself. Okay, so we see right here the price had dropped considerably and then shot back up, and then dropped considerably, shot back up, and then it will do the same thing again. Okay, here the price shot up, dropped back down some, shot back up. Now it's in a downtrend now. Okay, before it's uptrend, now it's downtrend. So we're going to see, you know, a lot of ups and downs, but overall it will be dropping in the long term. Now this weekly chart is going to take several months for that to drop. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, it's not going to be a fast process. That's why Forex is not a get rich quick scheme, and it's not like going to make you a millionaire overnight. Okay, it's a long-term investment. So anyhow, that's EURUSD. So what should we do this week? Well, considering that, you know, the price has been, you know, moving more or less in a sideways fashion, I feel that it'd be completely safe to both buy and sell this week for EURUSD. Keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, and you both buy and sell. Right now, it looks like a good time to sell. I don't know. I'd wait until at least, you know, the London session on Monday before we place any trades. Okay, and then just see what the market's doing. Okay, when the market first opens, it's very sluggish, very slow. We don't want to trade at that point. All right, so anyhow, moving on to GBP USD. Okay, we see very similar fashion here, where the price is moving in a sideways fashion. It's called a range of market, and right now it's showing to sell. So it's not really dropping, but again, this was like close of the market on Friday, so there's not very much movement. So we're going to see more movement pick up, especially around the London session on Monday. Okay, so again, I feel it should be both safe. It should be safe to both buy and sell GBP USD. If you look at the 4-hour chart real quick, we see that we have an up arrow. Okay, we had this probably for the last 2 weeks and hit this resistance, dropped, came back up to the same level, started to drop again. So it looks like a pretty good level of resistance, although it might go higher. Even here, it went slightly higher than before. If you look at the daily chart, however, shows to sell, and the weekly chart shows to sell as well. So I don't think there's going to be a big gain. Okay, if you look at the 1-hour chart, shows to sell, and 4-hour chart shows to buy. So yes, this is going to be going up. How high will it go up? I don't know, but it could go like right there. Okay, that's pretty good level of resistance. So we're looking at that to go up probably the next 2 weeks. Okay, hit this resistance. So it's going to be a slow increase. Right now, you know, 1 hour shows the sell, 30 minutes shows the sell. So right now we're looking for the price to drop. Okay, so in the beginning of the week we should see the price dropping, and then back around the middle of the week we'll see the price go back up again, and then, you know, hopefully by Friday the price will end higher than where it began. I don't know. Okay, but overall it should be safe to both buy and sell, because it's just a lot of inequality. Okay, the equilibrium is not set in the market, so there's a lot of conflict, and you're going to see a lot of range of markets. Bottom line, you can both buy and sell. Moving on to AUD USD. Okay, Australian dollar versus US dollar. Right here we see it's slightly different, but we do see that where the price ended, pretty much where it began. So like I said last week, you could both buy and sell, and that is definitely good using a 30-minute time frame. You're not going to gain a huge profit, but you definitely can get some nice pips buying and selling. This week should be pretty much the same scenario. Okay, if you look at the 4-hour chart, it shows the buy. So just like we already showed you, like, we have a strong resistance right here, and that is where I'm projecting the price to go. If you look at the daily chart, it shows to sell, and the weekly chart as well. Okay, so we know long term is going to be dropping. Okay, it's going to take months for this to drop. It's not going to just drop overnight. If you look from this blue arrow back in February 2020, okay, all the way to this red arrow, which was in February 2021. Okay, almost March 2021. So you're looking at a whole year for this price to gain. Okay, now we're finally going back down, and it might take a whole another year for the drop. I don't know, but it'll go back down. Okay, and again, it's all dependent upon the activity with the US dollar. Okay, how much the US dollar gains. If the US dollar gains, then this will drop for sure. Okay, so moving on to US dollar versus Swiss franc. Again, we're seeing mostly range of markets across all the pairs, and this is no exception. Now, US dollar, like look here, the US dollar closed higher than where it began, so that's a good sign that yes, the US dollar is slowly working its way up. Okay, now we had a good job report, a little bit of a good job report this last Friday, so we should see the US dollar slowly start to gain more traction. If you look at the 4-hour chart, it shows to sell. Okay, it's not going to be a huge drop. Okay, daily chart as well. Okay, but the weekly chart shows the buy, and we've had a big gain. So what I think, I can mark this right here. This is a strong support. If we see right here, it was a resistance, and now it's a support. So that's a very strong support on the weekly chart. If you look at the daily chart as well, that is where I predict this to drop. Okay, again, it's going to be a slow process because the US dollar is starting to pick up, starting to gain strength. So we're not going to see a big drop. It may not even drop that far. I don't know. You could put some buy limit pennant orders right in here. Just wait for the drop. It might take a week or so, but you know, just set it and leave it. No big deal. Now the 4-hour chart shows the drop right there, so we can predict that this is going to be dropping overall in the long run, in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so 1 hour shows to sell, 30-minute shows to buy, but it's not going to go up the high. It might go up a little bit more and then form another red arrow and then drop again. So again, like I always say, I would wait until at least the New York session, because this is a USD pair. Wait till at least the New York session on Monday before placing any trades, just to see what the US dollar is doing. Okay, but overall, you should be safe to both buy and sell, because you know the US dollar is starting to dip down, but also starting to gain some strength. So you're going to see a lot of range of market. Okay, a lot of conflicts, I guess. So it's trying to gain strength. All the other currencies are trying to gain strength as well. So we have a lot of fighting going on in the market right now. Okay, which is okay. That's perfectly fine, because it forms a lot of range of markets, a lot of ups and downs. You just have to know when to buy, when to sell, and you'll be perfectly fine. So keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, and you can trade from arrow to arrow. Okay, right now it says to buy, but I would just wait, okay, until you probably get a sell signal on a 30-minute chart and then place your trade. Okay, because like, you know, this week and next week it should be dropping, but it's not going to be a huge drop, I don't think, but we will see. Okay, if you wanted to sell only, you could, but I think it'd be okay to buy and sell. Okay, because there's going to be a lot of ups and downs in the market. Overall, I think in the next 2 weeks we'll see it drop more than it will gain, but you should be safe to both buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame. Moving on to US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Okay, here we see the US dollar did gain, not significant, but a good bit. In the beginning of the week it shot up, and then the rest of the week, by the middle of the week, it just flatlined. Okay, which is kind of odd. And we see right here on Friday the market was like dead, just completely dead right here, and that's okay. Now again, wait till New York session on Monday before you place any trades, and you should be safe to both buy and sell this week. If we look at the 4-hour chart, it shows to sell, but we don't really see it dropping, do we? We don't really see it dropping yet, so it's okay. Yes, we have 2 red arrows in a row, so the next one should be a blue arrow, the opposite color. Yes, it's going to drop. How far will it drop? I don't know, but I can't count on this being a huge drop. If we look right here, we have a strong support right here, okay? If I zoom out a little bit, yeah, see there's a support in the past. I'm trying to look for some resistance, like resistance here, resistance there. So this is a pretty good point for this to drop down and form a blue arrow. It's not going to drop way down here or nothing like that. There's just no way. You look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart shows the buy. As a matter of fact, you had 2, 3 blue arrows in a row. Okay, that's amazing. So the next one is definitely going to be a red arrow, and it's just going to take a long time. This is all the way back in 2016. Now it's 2021. Okay, so you're looking at what, 7 years for this to go up. So it's been more or less right in a sideways fashion for the last 7 years. Okay, no big deal, but we can expect this to break. Okay, we're at a pretty strong level of resistance right now, at least according to the weekly chart. But if we look at the daily, it shows it go down. The 4 hour shows it go down. So yes, I think this will be dropping. You know, not huge, but maybe to this point, maybe here. I don't know. We have a resistance here with this red arrow, okay, which is now a support. So definitely here, but maybe even lower. I don't know. Okay, so what's going to happen this week? Okay, that's the question everybody wants to know. Okay, this 1 hour chart shows to sell, and the daily chart shows to buy. Okay, well, it's not going to go up that much higher. It already hit this resistance right here. So what I think is it's going to go back up and touch this, form a red arrow, and then it's going to drop. Okay, and you're going to see more or less, we're going to see a range of market. We're moving sideways, but with overall drop. Okay, so I think the US dollar is going to drop more than it will gain this week. So the price should end lower than where it began. Is bottom line. So what do we do this week? Well, you can both buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame. Just keep in mind that overall it should be dropping. So if you want to focus on selling only, that's perfectly fine. Okay, but overall you should be safe to both buy and sell. If you look here on the US dollar versus Canadian dollar, this one's a little bit interesting because the price actually ended slightly lower than where it began. Okay, overall more or less a range of market, and you get 2 blue arrows right now, no red arrow. So it should be going back up, at least in the beginning of the week. And we had a pretty good job report, and the Canadian dollar did not have a job report yet until this coming Friday. So that allows the US dollar to gain against the Canadian dollar. So yes, we should be seeing this go back up. Well, you will not see a significant gain, but probably right about here is where I'm projecting this to go. It should hit a red arrow right here and then drop. If we look at the 4 hour chart, the 4 hour chart shows to sell, and the daily chart shows to buy. Weekly chart shows to buy. So overall, long term is going to be going up. It's going to be a slow process. Okay, like I said, the 4 hour chart shows to sell. It's not going to be a huge drop again, but we probably are going to see mostly range of markets this week with a slight drop in price. I don't know, but look right here. There's a strong support and resistance right here. So this is where I am guessing, projecting that this price will drop and form another blue arrow to go back up. Okay, at least in the 4 hour chart. I don't know, because look there on the 1 hour chart, you already have a blue arrow there. So yes, 30-minute and 1 hour show to go up. So in the beginning of the week, we're going to see this go up, and then by the middle of the week, we see it drop back down, and the price should possibly end lower than where it began. Okay, hopefully it's going to go back down to here. We don't know. Okay, and this coming Friday is the Canadian job report, so hopefully they'll have some good news, and it'll spike the Canadian dollar up, and the US dollar will drop, and this will definitely drop back down to here. Now, if it drops down to here, that's okay, and then just get ready to buy it. You could put some buy limit, pending orders down here to catch it when it drops. Okay, you're just gonna have to wait. Okay, at least wait a few days for it to drop. But I do feel like this week it will be safe to both buy and sell. Okay, for the Canadian dollar, US dollar versus Canadian dollar, simply because there's going to be a lot of range of markets. Okay, even though overall it's going to be dropping, that might take a couple weeks for it to really drop. I don't know. And this week going to next week, we'll probably see it drop. Okay, so that's, what is this now? Okay, this is already the first full week of April. Going into next week, we'll probably see it drop. So by the middle of April, we should see this US dollar coming back up. Okay, so we can project like the first part of April for the US dollar overall, all the USD pairs to drop, and then by the middle of April, it should all be going back up again. Okay, that's just how Forex works. Okay, so to keep that in the back of your mind, right? Next 2 weeks, we see the US dollar drop. So if you want to sell, you can, but overall, it should be safe. Should be safe to both buy and sell because it will be in a range of market. Okay, just a lot of ups and downs, but overall more down than up, if that makes any sense. Okay, so anyhow, this concludes my weekly trade predictions. If you have any other currency pair that you want me to evaluate, please feel free to hit me up on Facebook. I have no problems with that. I put a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Okay, please contact me there first. Okay, also I put a link for my private Facebook group, and you can post any questions or comments in my Facebook group, and then this way myself or other traders, we can all collaborate as a team and have an open discussion about this. Okay, so with that said, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Please let me know how I can help you. Thank you so much.